All right, hey everybody, welcome back to another episode of Nightfall. Before we get started here, I just want to say again that this episode, which is episode 5, and the next episode, episode 6, are going to be recorded back to back. And then we'll finish off episode 7 as its own, separate thing. So I'll have the opportunity to get, tips and shit from you guys. With that said, let's get into it. Just also mention date of recording today, March 29th, at about 10 p.m. ish. Just thought I should let you guys know. So this I think will be going up on. I think this will go up on the 30th. I think. I don't remember. You open up. I gotta get into my reading mindset. All right. You open one eye. Fragments of a dream are still lingering. A strange woman offered to feed you seeds that fell out of the sky. You get up quickly to forget all that. And a few minutes later, you're outside of your studio. Night 5. Alright, so if you recall, last time we ended up, the police woman, she called us. She said we have 2 or 3 days before we have to make a call on who the guy is. So yeah. The woman getting in your taxi does not look like she's at her best. Mouth lolling open, eyes unfocused, out of breath. She looks like she's been punched in the gut. More like she saw a ghost. We know how that is, don't we, everybody? Saw a fucking ghost in our cab yesterday. Last episode. She struggles to take her backpack off and makes several attempts. The strap gets caught in the buckle of her overalls. She sighs and gets annoyed. During this whole process, she doesn't look up at you once. Oh my. If you don't mind here, I'm gonna adjust my microphone, 'cause it's not picking up my voice very well. This should be better. There we go, that seems alright, I think. Yeah, that seems fine. Alright, just tighten that screw. There we go. Sorry about that. Hope that didn't cause too much of a loud noise. It did. All make it quiet. She takes a deep breath. French place. Her voice is emotionless, more of a trickle than a voice, coming out of a childish body. It sounds like it took every bit of energy she had to get those words out. She takes her phone out of her bag, hesitates, starts swiping left to right and right to left for some Tinder. She's completely absorbed. You think you can make out the reflection of a colorful mobile game in her glasses. Oh, she's playing Candy Crush. That's nice. Silence settles heavily into the cab. It is broken occasionally by something that sounds like a hiccup or a repressed sob. At a red light, she raises her head and lowers it the second her gaze crosses yours in the rearview mirror. Something about her makes you feel like you've got something caught in your throat. You don't look so great. She looks up at you, slowly. Her gaze is even darker. She looks right at you for a second. It chills you to the bone. Yeah, you might say so. She's not crying, not shaking, just the occasional spasm. A few seconds go by. You attempt to focus on the road, but despite both of your efforts to pretend nothing is wrong, her emotions invade the cab. She finally takes the plunge like she's jumping off of a cliff. Can I talk to you? Still the same trickle of a voice and great length taken to control it. I'm sorry, it's stupid, but I think I need someone to talk to. I'm listening. She takes a deep breath. I need to say it out loud. You stay silent. You sense she needs you to be silent. A guy touched me in that bar. Dude! Not cool! Her voice is twisted, like a nearly empty tube of toothpaste. Tears collect in her eyes. You feel really heavy. She starts talking again. Her tone is slightly different. She sounds more confident. Like saying those words out loud made her feel a bit more alive again. Or like she wanted to be stronger. He came up behind me and touched me. Way too much. It's not cool, man. Her voice breaks over the last few syllables. The silence in the cab absorbs everything, even the noise of traffic. You don't even hear the ambulance going by, lights flashing. I want to talk about it, but I also don't really know what to say. It's like, yeah, you want to file a report? I don't think so. I don't have much of anything concrete to report. I don't really feel like going to the police station. I don't want to sit under fluorescent lights, answer questions. I just want a warm blanket. Excuse me. I just want a warm blanket, a cup of hot chocolate, and my mom. She tries to smile, but gets choked up and lets out a painful sob. It took me way too long to understand what was happening. Way too long. I didn't get it. I was petrified. She looks about 30 years old, maybe, or not far from 30. But you get the impression you're driving a little girl who just had her innocence stolen. One minute, I was standing there in the crowd. The Furiosa is like my second home. I always go there to hang out with friends, because they all live in the neighborhood, and our places are too small. She takes a breath. You follow suit, unconsciously. Everything was fine. There was a concert. I was happy. I'd had a bit to drink, but not too much. It was packed, but the music was sweet. It was a good night. I was having a good night. Another breath. You know what it's like when you're packed into a crowd like sardines? You don't really know who's touching you, but that's just the way crowds are. She lays her telephone on the seat and leans forward, elbows on her knees and head in her hands. Her backpack falls on the floor. She doesn't make the slightest move to pick it up. I didn't get it. Fuck! Why didn't I get it? I didn't even react. She stares at you. Why didn't I react? I mean, yeah, you should talk to the police about this. She leans ever so gently towards you. Sir, you know what? You're right. For the first time since she sat down in your cab... Oh, Jesus. Sorry. Sorry. For the first time since he sat down in your cab, you feel a sense of relief. I could drop you off at the station. You stop to think for a second. I can even wait with you if you'd like. She leans over to you. I'd do the same if I were you. And I'm sincerely grateful. But no, not tonight. I just can't bring myself to do it. She grabs her bag and sits up, suddenly more outspoken. You know, you read story after story about women who've been assaulted. You say to yourself, okay, got it, if it happens to me, I'll rip his head off, scream, make a scene, hit him. He won't get away with it. You convince yourself you're stronger than them, that you know how to protect yourself. Stand up for yourself. She pauses, barely. It's hard to bear. I'm so angry with myself. I didn't do anything. I just stood there, frozen. Like a fucking idiot. Everyone was totally entranced in the concert. They were dancing, drinking, laughing, screaming, and I was frozen. It was like a wave of ice that just washed over me. Everything around just collapsed. It was like I was stuck inside my own body. All I could feel were his fingers worming their way in. I don't even know how long it lasted. I was disconnected. I let him do it. Her last words hang in the air and work their way into your thoughts. You become aware of your sweaty hands on the steering wheel. She pauses, starts talking again. A part of me froze on the spot. Another part was screaming inside. At one point, the crowd shifted. There was a bit of a rush or something. That's when my brain started functioning again, like someone flipped a switch. I wanted to turn around, but his hand disappeared. I couldn't see who it was, and I just stood there like an idiot. All that was left was a normal gathering of normal people. Who does that? I mean, really, who does that? I ran over to the bar. I don't even know how I got there. I couldn't feel my legs. My friends were still waiting for their beers. I burst into tears. A brief pause. Just enough to open her eyes wide. I think the worst part was that my friends made fun of me. They saw me walk up in tears. I did my best to explain what happened, and they thought it was hilarious. Oh, come on, Berenice, they said. Calm down, it's no big deal. Relax. Only my guy friends were there, that would fucking do it, wouldn't it? They're not bad guys, you know, but they're not always so bright. I usually get along better with guys. But I really wish one of the girls had been there. Hearing them laugh was so harsh. When it happened, I didn't really know what to say. I mean, maybe they're right. It was no big deal. She pauses and looks away. I should never have gone to that concert. She loses herself in thought. You wonder how you would have reacted if something like that happened to you. You try to remember how you did react. Huh? I went outside, walked around a bit. They didn't even text me or anything. I just wish I could make it all go away. That scares the shit out of me. How it's so definitive, permanent, unavoidable. I already know it will hang over me my whole life. How I wish I could make it all go away. Turn back time. Like in a video game. F5, F6, quick save, quick load. Swish to erase your mistakes. A moment of absence, some horrible thing that happened. Over and done. You know just what she's talking about. Feeling that suddenly, in 1 second, a split second, your fate is changed forever. And there's no going back. You expect to see Aid's face in the rearview mirror. Have you ever done anything like that, sir? I beg your pardon? You ever hurt anyone? Any women? She asks the question again, like she thinks he might not have heard it the first time. It's not as simple as that. Your passenger breathes in. You can hear her leaning in, looking for an answer. I don't know. Indeed, you don't know. Images and sounds come to mind in flashes. People suddenly staring. Faces whose expressions shift in barely noticeable ways. Voices that no longer speak. The sour smell of sweat, the touch of skin that is suddenly chilled. Is it possible that... Each time you blink, you brush off a new image. You speak up again, with a half smile that's supposed to be reassuring. Yeah, I probably have hurt women before, but not like that. I'm trying to understand. And you see, I'm skeptical. Sorry, I'm thinking about my friends, the way they reacted. In what way is this no big deal? Why exactly should I calm down? If they think I need to calm down, they must think that kind of behavior is normal. That normal people do that kind of thing. I'm sure they've got friends, a job. I mean, they're not guys who like serial killers that just escaped from a loony bin. I will never set foot in that bar again. Ever. You're getting closer to your destination. Her voice sounds far away. Drop me off at the light. I need to walk a bit. You pull over. She's shaking. It's like you're in slow motion. I'm sorry for all that. You mutter something incomprehensible. Actually, you don't really know what you wanted to say anyway. She pays her fare and walks off without a word. You close your eyes for a long while before turning the key in the ignition. Right. Oh, God. Goodness. I mean, I haven't even taken anything tonight. Normally, like, it's not even that late either. It's like 10 something. 10 something at night. I haven't even fucking taken anything. I usually take, like a Benadryl or whatever to help me sleep, but I haven't yet. Alright. I need a cab, quick. You pull up in front of the American Embassy. You can't recall ever picking up a customer here. They probably have a fleet of their own. And of course, we are back to the fucking ridiculously loud theme music for this person. I don't know why. I don't know why. You're not gonna know how loud it is because I'm gonna lower it in post, but it's really fucking loud. Or a contract with a private company. The door opens. You take an immediate liking to the guy who gets in. You find him somehow reassuring, like a lost tourist. He babbles something in English. You have to listen hard to make out the address. Sorry, I'm just back in Paris. I've forgotten my manners. He flashes you a sparkling smile. His voice is tinged with a slight American accent. You turn the key in the ignition. Thanks. What's your name, pal? You're surprised to hear him use the familiar to form straight off the bat. I'm not even gonna try to pronounce that fucking name. Nice to meet you, Zine. There you go. I imagine that's how I would say it as an American. I'm American. He stares at you intently for a moment. My name is... He nods slowly as if disheartened. If I reveal my name, I'll be left with no other choice. I'll have to kill you. He pauses, way too long to be joking. His face darkens. It's a different man on the seat behind you. And then, his face creases into a grin. Hey, amigo, I'm joking. I work for the CIA, that's all. CIA? Yeah, the CIA, Jason Bourne and all that. The spy business. You're a spy. Fucking hell, this is literally louder than my voice on OBS. Fuck me. Yeah, you could say that. Is that why your French is so good? I speak 8 other languages, too. You give a low whistle. Not bad for a Yankee, eh? He bursts into laughter. No wonder I'm a spy, eh, amigo? He slumps back in his seat a little. As if he'd been knocked on the head. I literally cannot hear myself think. He slumps back in his seat a little, as if he'd been knocked on the head. Take my fucking headphones off. Oh my god, I literally cannot hear myself speak. It's so loud. Like, this is going into the red on OBS. It's ridiculous. Right. I've been overdoing it a little lately. Doctor tells me I need to lay off the booze, or I won't make it through the year. His hand flutters nervously in the air. I was speaking Spanish all day. I've got a splitting headache. My buddy from Cuba and me, had this meeting. Went on forever. He gives a strange sigh, a faraway look in his eyes. We should have kept Cuba. Kept Cuba? Yeah, like 100 years ago, it belonged to the good old US of A. Didn't you know? I mean, it wasn't exactly ours, but it was sort of ours. You know what I mean? Give a nod. Yeah, I don't remember. Really? Does that happen? We helped them gain independence. Gave me a lot of help, in fact. Military, boats. Those were the good old days. His sudden bellow of laughter gives you quite a start. I bet you don't even know all the American mafiosi moved there. The mafiosi? Yeah, the Italians, know what I mean? Like in the movies? Don Corleone and all that? Cosa Nostra had casinos there in the 50s. You know, you could go for the weekend, fat wads of cash changing hands and all. The 1940s. Boy, they sure were good old days. The entire decade was. You don't look that old, dude. I mean, I guess you might. Nice. How old are you, man? Okay. I'm not talking from personal experience, of course. Now, don't get me wrong, I wasn't even born back then. Gives you a little wink. When I first joined the company, the old-timers, that's all they ever talked about. The good old days, the suits, the big cars. How they'd get back to Miami on Monday mornings, go straight into the office. I missed out on all that. His eyes are half closed, his voice thick with emotion. Goodness. But today, that's a thing of the past now. Today we make plans and presentations. We produce statistics and spreadsheets. He's staring at you intently. We take turns. My turn one day, yours the next. It's not the same anymore. You have to change with the times. Or retire and blow all your savings on booze. What exactly do you do? I'm a government facilitator. Sure, I know exactly what that is. He gives what appears to be a scornful shrug. I help people make the right choices by getting rid of the competition. Oh. Believe me, and this is coming from an American, nobody likes competition. Competition is just a way of getting people all worked up. Keeps them busy. Control is what it's really all about. He taps you on the shoulder. Last stop, amigo. You pull over. The street is dark and lifeless. Perfectly quiet. You see that little side street over there? You nod yes. The best bar in Paris is on. It's run by Venezuelans. The owner, he could have been finance minister, you know? But instead, he runs the best joint in town. And all because the CIA prefers meetings and spreadsheets. Tough luck for the Venezuelans. And so much the better for me. His roar of laughter nearly pierces your eardrum. He gets out of the cab and shakes your hand, handing you the fare and then some. Your eye follows his bulky form as it crosses the street and turns into the dark alleyway. You sit there for a minute, somewhat confused. He's a strange one. Not all that unpleasant, really, and yet utterly vile. You start up the cab. There you go. Somehow I feel like 30 cents is not really and then some. Is it? Oh well. A night bus with something. Jesus Christ. What the fuck? What was that? What just occurred? I have no idea what just happened. You look up, an office tower. Somewhere high up, there's still a light on. A shadow at work. Why does everyone want me to drive them so fucking far for so little money? Is bullshit. Oh my, what is this fucking... 3 teens are running on the sidewalk to the left of you. They yell and insult each other. Something about a bottle. Shall I go pick up Santa Claus? I don't know. I have to get... I mean, I do need a bit of gas, don't I? Really? The passenger who's entered your cab slams the door and stares at you intently. Good evening. Where are you going? I don't know yet. Although the real question is, how can you help yourself? I'm not sure I follow. Do we know each other? She gives a sour laugh. Don't play innocent with me. If I were to say to you... Her voice is slightly raspy, with an oddly metallic sound. October 27th. That's the date. The night. The attack. Not you. Could this woman be the judge? 10:46 p.m. No. The attack took place later. Does that ring a bell? You nod your head. Sure. Yes, it does, miss. Don't you miss me! Not another word. She waggles an accusing finger. Is this woman, like, off her meds? Last October 27th. You were in this very cab, driving a fare, and you committed a crime. That's right, sir, a crime! Okay, yeah, she's definitely off her fucking meds. I spent the whole day working like an idiot for that rotten newspaper. Do you have any idea what I do for a living? Just shut up. I'm a sub-editor, Mr. Taxi Driver. I correct mistakes that a bunch of moron journalists make. There isn't a single one, not one, who knows how to write a proper sentence. I've had it. Really had it. And on the night of October 27th, you cut me off. I almost died that night. She grinds her teeth. You shudder. I crashed my car. My boyfriend's car, that is. The same guy who made yet another comment about women drivers. The neighbors called the police that night. I made such a scene. To think the guy dares call himself a feminist. She pauses for dramatic effect, as a disturbing smile spreads over her face. She's deaf. This woman is definitely off her fucking meds. Listen. And what does that have to do with anything? Everything! Her voice is suddenly noticeably quieter, almost fragile. The next day, no more boyfriend. No more car. I messed up a job interview with a major news outlet. A paper where people knew how to write, where they follow basic rules of French grammar. Imagine, for just a minute, I could have stopped correcting copy for a bunch of I could have stopped correcting copy for a bunch of morons. That doesn't make any sense. But okay, maybe it's a journalist thing that I don't understand. Copy. She takes a deep breath. But all because of you. Because of your cab. Everything changed the night of October 27th. A sad, faraway look comes over her. My life has never been the same since. But her voice is bursting with fury and hatred. Forced to go live with my mother while I went apartment hunting in this rotten city, where tiny studios cost an arm and a leg. So I started looking for you. The back of your neck breaks into a sweat. You can feel cold, clammy droplets about to drip down your spine. I started asking around. I bribed one of your colleagues into giving me your number. A droplet of sweat starts sliding down your back. Then I found your address. Your first one, that is. You shiver as a drop reaches your boxers. But that's your business. Oh, sorry. But that's your business. What matters is I did eventually get your other address. The real one. The droplet has reached your tailbone. You started shaking. Am I about to get murdered? At first, I admit, I was planning on going to your place. She shrugs her shoulders. Her voice is softened a little. Maybe. Spit in your face, or something like that. And then I thought to myself, no, Ludivine, maybe the guy deserves a chance. You never know. So you're going to apologize. Go on. Give it your all. Take your time. Take a deep breath. She breathes in deeply, then exhales. Like that. Get out of my fucking car! You don't know who I am, and frankly, I don't care. I just want to do my job, to mind my own business. I'm sorry, but you have to leave. She lets out a long sigh. I wish things had gone differently. Really, I was ready to... She shakes her head. This is what we're going to do. She's in control, holding back, trying to contain her feelings. I'm going to get out of this cab and disappear into the night. Thank you. She's staring at you intently, her eyes boring into your body inch by inch. Just between you and me, I hope you've got good insurance for this jalopy. Because one day, you're gonna wake up and you won't have any tires left. Or your windshield. Maybe you won't have a car at all. She opens the door and exits the cab with the same energy as when she got in. Just fuck off. Get out of here. You're alone in the taxi. Your head spinning slightly as you'd had some drink. Just one, but something really strong. You briefly try to remember that night. Nothing. Nothing but a vague impression of something behind you. The killer's silhouette. A fleeting presence. You shake your head. There's nothing more than before. If only you had turned around, everything would have been easier. If you'd had seen the face of... All at once, you start the cab. Fucking A. I've gone past the fucking gas station now. Haven't I? I don't know why I did that. It was terrible. You let out a yawn and shake your head, hoping that might shake your weariness away. I mean, like, nobody... I feel, if this is how it actually is, I feel very bad for all cab drivers in Paris. Just in the fucking world, honestly. If this is how it is. You get shit fucking pay for driving, like, to the complete other side of a city, and nobody fucking tips you anything. That sounds fucking terrible, and fucking cab drivers, you deserve better. You should, like, fucking unionize. Just fried food? Yep. Let's just chat with the guy. I was wondering. You immediately bring up the serial killer. The cashier looks up, obviously excited by the topic, and he gave me a new clue. See? This is like, it's worth it, man. Good night, I guess. You nod and exit the shop. Right. Brilliant. Honestly, I want to pick up this guy. I haven't picked this guy up before, and he looks interesting. Oh, goodness me. I have to do a lot of cutting shit. See, that's like, alright, there you go. €30, there you go. The door opens, and your passenger collapses into the back seat. His eyes are hidden behind a pair of large, dark glasses. His clothes reek of sweat and booze. A clubber. He mumbles his destination, and you start driving. A few words are exchanged. The weather, taxes, traffic. Then you can tell it's coming. The inevitable conversation about the killer. Some bits of information, rumors, things overheard. You make a mental note of what you've heard. Who knows? It might come in handy. Get a new clue. Your mind wanders. Your eyes vaguely scan the store windows. The sodium light coming off the street lamps feels like it's dripping into your brain. You're falling asleep. You need a bit of music to keep you awake. You glance at your passenger. You mind if I put a little music on? He waves his hand as if to say, who cares? You turn the radio on, pressing on the dial to find a station you like. 80s rock ballad, Too Soft. Behind you, your passenger is snoring. Barely, but you can hear him. Atonal classical music. Sounds like the orchestra is badly tuned. Rye. Is that Rye? Is that Rye or Rye? I don't know what that two dots means. Not tonight. Two journalists discussing new evidence in the investigation to the judge's murders. Look at that, I get a new clue. The information they share. Salon talk, nothing more. Seems important, nonetheless. An ad interrupts the torrent of words, and you change the station. Classical music again. The flute grates on your ears. Electronic music. You like the rhythm, but just aren't in the mood. Holy shit, dude. Stop. You lift your hand from the dial. The music plays on. Not bad. Turn it up so I can hear better. I didn't want to wake you. His voice sounds like it's coming from a deep cavern. I wasn't sleeping, just sobering up. He leans forward. Not bad at all. You hear the touch of an accent. Probably an American, but someone who's lived most of his life in France. Leave it on until they say the musician's name. The music continues. There's something turning in the background. A persistent melody that gets higher and higher. Your client mumbles. I bet. The song is coming to an end, and the announcer, in a piercing foghorn voice, throws out the name of a DJ you've never heard of. DJ Blunt. I knew it. You like his stuff? Yeah, it's good product. It's pretty conventionally structured, but it's super popular. He snickers. Still, I taught that dude everything he knows. Everything. In '94, at a party at the Rex Club, there was this kid who started buying me rounds. He waves his hand around. A kid, no older than 17. I thought he was hitting on me. He chuckles. He would have been disappointed. He shakes his head. No, he wanted me to teach him how to spin. I told him no, but you can watch. And that's exactly what he did every week, until he moved to the Osiris. He sold X to pay his way in. He briefly snickers. And now he's on the radio. Silence fills the cab. Weighted silence. You can tell your passenger's mind is spinning. You know what he did this summer? He was the opener for a soccer championship at French place. Stade de France. It was huge. Wonder what people would think if they knew he was selling drugs at 17. He lowers his voice a bit. If they only knew. Your passenger clams up. Keep an eye on the road. You notice a woman crossing the street at the crosswalk. She speeds up as she walks by two men talking loudly. We ran into each other in Ibiza 4 or 5 years ago. You almost jump at the sound of his voice. I was spinning in this little club. Yeah, really little. But it was something. He totally ignored me, of course. Even with those dark glasses. You can see how angry he is. DJ motherfucking cunt. Cannot say that on YouTube. I'll be bleeped. He suddenly starts waving his arms around. He rummages through his pockets as he says, your radio. Can it take a flash drive? You glance at your radio. You don't really know what he's talking about. I don't know. No worries. He lays his phone in the space between the two front seats. Sorry, having a drink. Listen to this. It's what I played tonight. It's mine. He sets his phone to play. But you know, people were barely dancing. A drum machine playing a hard-edged beat in the background. They were talking, taking each other's picture. 4 notes start to dance in the cab. They barely touch, never kiss anymore. A perfect dance beat becomes progressively audible. All that, a purely electronic crescendo plays, is over. There's a break in the music. Synthesized strings calm the song down, without slowing it down. At least, the song is getting intense again. It explodes as your passenger drifts off. I got people dancing. The song keeps going for another minute. then stops. Your passenger doesn't budge. You drive to the rhythm of his snoring. The sound fills the cab. 40, 35. 40, 35. Ideas are bouncing through your head, like they do every time you find yourself alone. This guy in the back seat is too old to be young. You look at your own hands. They look like they're suddenly aging in time-lapse. You close your eyes a second. Only a second. And then you hit somebody. No. When you open them, you've reached your destination and have pulled over to the sidewalk. You tap your passenger's knee, and he waits with a start. Shit. Yeah? We're here, sir. Ah, yes. Great. He rummages through his pockets and hands you a few rumpled bills for fare. Thanks. I hope you liked it. Silence. The music, I mean. My music. The song I played you. I should have been in the spotlight, you see. 15 minutes of fame. Just a minute of... He stifles a burp. You hear him mumble as he leaves the taxi. Those whiskey and oranginas really screw with my system. You see him stagger towards his building. It takes him several tries to get the door open. He finally disappears inside. You heave a long sigh. Okay, come on. There you go, he paid me pretty good. 30 euro, that's... Damn it. Let's go for you. Oh man, I think I'm having developing a bit of an allergy. Honestly. I'm kind of having a bit of a... Ugh, goodness. Yeah, whatever. Sure, you have to get back. The 16th, what? 16th what? 16th century? Hello? The next passenger getting in your cab enters in a cloud of extremely heavy perfume. She is a dead fox on her. I don't... What the fuck? What the fuck is going on here? I mean, it's not part of, her, fur coat or whatever. It's a well-known scent, one you often see advertised in the Champs-Élysées. This woman must be in her 50s. She has impeccable posture. The fur she wears around her neck must be worth several days' pay. She opens her mouth. Good evening. Before you start driving, I just need to tell you something very... She purses her lips, attempting to stifle the word that is about to come out, then raises a finger. Shit! Whore! She continues to look at you, the same smile frozen on her face. She's just shouted gibberish at you, but her face hasn't budged. It's like she isn't even aware of what she said. She purses her lips even harder. What? What? What the fuck? Doggy foreskin. What the fuck? She shakes her head. I am truly sorry. Please, hear me out. You are so taken aback that you find nothing to say. I am suffering from a major emotional trauma. It seems to have triggered very strong verbal episodes. They're exhausting, to be honest. I hope you can... Shit! I understand, so she's like Tourette's, I guess. Please know that I don't believe a single word that I'm saying. She smiles. Fucking hell. It's my husband. She shrugs. Married for 25 years. 2 kids. A house on the coast. All sorts of fun plans for the future. Then, a sad smile flashes across her face. Eat shit. She looks at you. You bite your cheek to avoid laughing and start driving. With a bit of luck, your passenger won't say anything for the remainder of the ride. Your passenger sighs. Do you know what I did today? You glance at her in the rearview mirror. No idea. Well, dear sir, I opened a bank account. She flashes a smug smile. In my own name, fucking bitch. She takes a moment. How is that possible? I'm happy for you. Thank you. Shit! My husband never thought I needed one. He took care of everything. It was easier. He's died, hasn't she? Hasn't he? Or they've, like, divorced or something. She shrugs her shoulders like it was all of no importance. Double fuck. Oh god, do you hear it? Do you hear the music? Certainly hope it doesn't become incredibly loud in a few moments. I get it, you know? How terribly complicated all this paperwork is. All these contracts, page after page of tiny print. What the fuck? The woman at the bank was charming, very instructive. Four-legged slut! Her face is clouded with sadness for a second. I could tell, of course, that all this... She points to her face. All this bothered her. Fucking hell. What am I gonna do about you, miss? That's probably why they didn't want me to open my account in our old branch. She looks out at the road passing by. An awkward silence fills the cab. Your passenger puts an end to it, her voice lightly croaking as she speaks softly. Both my children had bank accounts before I did. Isn't that unbelievable? And my daughter. She told me 1,000 times that it wasn't normal. Dick. That everyone should have a ass. That the 1940s were over. And I blew her off, you see. I was happy with the way things were. I am having a bit of an idea. Oh my. Okay, we'll keep going. Maybe I won't record next episode. We'll see. Her eyes grow hazy. Her lips purse. How did it work? Well, pussy. My husband gave me cash. He took care of any major expenses himself. She shrugs and seems slightly annoyed by the question. I don't really know why, but I never felt the need to have my own bank card. Not when we got married, nor after. You get the impression that the last outburst wasn't quite like the others. It almost seemed intentional. You know, I've never paid rent. Not a shadow of pity in her voice. Simply an observation. I'm starting a completely fuck new life. I have to sign papers and send letters and documents, proving I actually live where I say I do. It's odd. She heaves a strange sigh. I'm starting a new life. Like I was on the run and hiding behind a false identity. Quite dramatic, isn't it? Fucking hell. What am I gonna do with you? I think that's actually pronounced Angelica. Angelic, maybe? I don't know. What am I gonna do with you, lady? She smiles crookedly, but it's so fast you almost miss it. You are not far from your destination, and your passenger appears lost in her thoughts. The trip continues in silence for a few minutes. Bitch. Almost. Until you pull up in front of your client's place. She almost jumps when you speak up. Here we are. Yes. I'm sure they did. I'm sure your parents did live a little further up the street. She lets the sentence hang in the air like she's learning the fact the same time as you. Actually, I lived my whole life here. She pays her fare. The bills are brand new, spanking clean. Good night and good luck, sir. What's her deal? You watch her until she disappears into the lobby of her building. Thank you. See, that is honestly, Like, that's the kind of tip that I would probably expect to give a cab driver in America. I don't know why people in this video game set in Paris in like modern day, I don't know why they tip so poorly. It I don't get it. All right. I tell you what, we're just gonna drive up here. We're gonna go up here and then I don't know, man. I don't know. Like, look how much money I have not made. Right, see? Like, you leave your taxi behind and walk towards the last victim's building. Charles Boujon, Bougeron, that guy, Bougeron Ferrer, was killed in his parking garage. The large metal door is firmly closed. Let's look for another entrance. You walk around to the back of the building and look at the various entrances. The main one, the garage door, and a maintenance door for the trash cans. Let's try the maintenance door. Oh shit. Hey, what are you doing? This is private property. You turn around and see a rather elderly man. Probably the concierge. He shines his flashlight in your direction. I'm a journalist. A journalist? Yes, I'm doing a story on the judge and his victims, including Mr. that guy. He hesitates. I'm sorry, but I'm not at liberty to tell you anything. I just need 2 minutes of your time. He nods nervously, or maybe in fright. You have trouble making out his face, but you can see his eyes bug out. Go! Get out of here before I call the cops! You leave the lobby. The concierge follows you and checks to make sure the door is firmly shut behind you. If I see you lurking around again, I'm calling the cops. You make your way back to your cab. You glance back at the building. The furious concierge is gone. You settle in behind the wheel, short of breath. So that was pointless, waste of time? Okay. Let's go, I'm gonna go see this one. She wants me to drive. He wants to, you know. Oh no, too late. Yeah. People, I profited and then I lost 160 euro and then I do 159 euro. I am poor as shit. You take a few minutes to update your board with your new clues. Your neighbor flushes the toilet. Out of the corner of your eye, you can see the pipes shake. You glance at your bed and get to work. Alrighty. Four was a... Alrighty. Oh, victim 1 was a molester who was never arrested. Okay. You got anything else new? I thought we got more than that, honestly. I think it's probably this guy, honestly. I think it's, like, most likely it's this guy. I mean, he has, look. Look. Like, this guy has 1, 2, oh wait, what is this? Alright, of course. This was motive for the homeless guy, right. I think it's one of these two cop dudes. Ex-cops, or I guess current cops. Right, because they have like one, two, three, four, five. This guy is 6. This guy has 6 clues against him. Oh, this guy does as well. 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6. Yeah, okay, they both do. Okay. Well, in that case, yeah, fuck it. Gonna end the night. Nah, that's all I've got, really. With a heavy hand, you wipe your tired face. You lie down on the open sofa bed. You think about the same shit that you always think about before going to bed. Your hands are shaking. You don't quite know what's happening around you anymore. For a short moment, the room around you starts to flutter. You shake your head and your mind wanders for a second. Your eyelids flutter once, and you're asleep. And of course, that will be it for this episode of Night Call. I'm gonna cut, keep this is actually been a very long one, almost an hour here. That's interesting. Yeah, I'm gonna cut short, basically. Okay, thanks for watching. Leave a like if you enjoyed, and comment, subscribe, and, ding the bell. If I sound a little odd today, I do think I might actually be getting a little sick. Probably don't have COVID because I haven't been anywhere in like a month. But yeah, thanks for watching. I hope you enjoyed. Next episode, episode 6, might be delayed depending on if I'm ill or not. So sorry about that. I might try and just record something that requires less talking. I don't know. Anyway, thanks for watching. Hope you enjoyed. I will see you next episode, whenever that might be. Bye!